Alright, what is going on guys? It's Tazz here, and welcome back to the channel for my second part of my Black Ops 3 DLC 2 Eclipse review. Now today what I'm going to be doing is giving you guys sort of my thoughts and first impressions on the brand new multiplayer maps that came with the Eclipse DLC. So without further ado, let's start talking about these multiplayer maps. Now the first map I want to talk to you guys about today is Knockout. Now, Knockout is probably my favorite map out of this entire DLC pack, and it's not just because it's got all these crazy bright colors, it actually has some pretty good flow to it. It has a nice middle area, as you will see in the gameplay that I go to. It's sort of the place, it's got like this big dragon statue in the middle of it, and it's sort of got this like sumo wrestling arena in the middle of it also, and it's got some pretty nice lanes on the outside of the map as well, and it's probably a medium-sized map, I would say, but it just seems to play very well. I mean, I only played it in bots just to get this gameplay. Sort of a disclaimer right here is all this gameplay that I'm going to be using in this video is actually from bots, just because it was sort of easier that way for me to get some gameplay for the multiplayer maps, because you don't want to just see me dying every 5 seconds. But yeah, this map is just I really like the setting of this map. Just it's all nice and bright, and it's sort of in this like ancient like kung fu panda type temple. You know, it just is really cool. It plays very well to me, and I just really like it because of all the bright colors. And I'm sure you guys can definitely see, especially with the color correction stuff that I'm going to put on this video and things like that. So yeah, I just really like it, and it just just really cool and nice and bright and vibrant, and it's just an all-around really good map. Now the next map up is Rift. Now, Rift is most likely the smallest map that is in this DLC pack, and it's not only small in size, but just all of the different areas that you can go to, they just seem very sort of tight and everything, and there are a couple of wall run spots on the outside of the map that are pretty, like, like kind of tight, and like they're just really tight areas in this map. But I actually do really enjoy this map. It gives you a lot of close gunfights, so this map is definitely really good for SMGs and shotguns and things like that. But it's sort of set, honestly, this map really reminds me of that one map from, you know, Call of Duty Ghosts, that one DLC map. It was sort of like on an oil rig or something. This sort of seems like, it's kind of like an oil rig, but it's above, I think it's above a volcano actually. So it has like a couple of small running, wall running spots on it, and just a couple of inside buildings that don't have too much room in them. But I really like this map just because it's nice and small, and it just gives you a lot of good areas to sort of use your SMGs and shotguns, and maybe even if you're going for like your pistol challenges or something like that, this map would be perfect for it. But overall, I really do like this map. I'm not really sure how I would rate this. Maybe my second or third favorite map out of this DLC pack. Overall, I think it's a pretty good map. It's definitely not a bad map, but it's just pretty tight and everything like that, so sometimes you can sort of get stuck on some things. But overall, I do really think this is a really good map, so let's move on to the next map. The third map on this DLC is called Spire. Now, Spire is set up really high up in the clouds, and it sort of reminds me of, I think it was called Vertigo, I think, from Black Ops 2, you know, the map, it literally looks a lot like it. It's got sort of the same color palette, like everything is just all like futuristic-y, and there are a lot of like white and blue walls and things like that. It was also set up pretty high, and you could fall off pretty easily on that map as well. But I actually really think this map is pretty cool. It's honestly, most like it could be it's sort of a larger to medium-sized map. Definitely not a huge map, but it probably is. It's not a lot bigger, but it is a bit bigger than some of the other maps in this DLC for sure. But it seems to play very well. It's got a lot of different buildings to go into on either side of the map, and it's definitely a longer range engagement map. Like, there are some like big areas sort of in the back of each map where the teams would spawn if you're playing like domination or something like that. So definitely there's probably going to be a lot of camping on this map, and overall, I do think it's a pretty cool map. It's got actually a nice wall run spot on the outside of the map, so you can easily get from one side to the other, but you're just like really high up in the clouds, so if you make any mistakes, you're gonna fall off the map to your death. But overall this map is pretty good. It's definitely not my favorite map out of this DLC. I don't have a problem with it. It's pretty cool, but it's just nothing special, you know? Like, I mean, we've sort of seen maps like this before in Black Ops 2. Like I said, it's sort of like Vertigo, I think, from Black Ops 2, but it is nice to have the new movements and stuff on this map, so you can sort of run around on the outside of the map and see the nice scenery on the outside. But definitely one thing I do have to say about all these maps is they look really amazing inside the map as well as outside the map. But let's move on to the fourth and final map of this DLC pack. The final map of this Eclipse DLC pack is called Verge. Now, Verge is actually the one map that was remade into this game. So Verge is the remake of the World at War map Bonsai. Now, Bonsai, I'm pretty sure, was actually a DLC map from that game as well. So I've never played. I never played the original Bonsai on World at War just because I never played any of the DLCs on that. So this is my first time playing this map with this layout and everything. But this is probably honestly my least favorite map out of this DLC pack, and it's most likely just because I don't really appreciate it that much, just because I didn't play the original map. And usually I really do like remakes. Like, I really like Skyjacked and everything from the first DLC pack. I usually really do like the remakes of the maps, but I'm actually surprised that this one is probably going to be my least favorite out of this DLC pack. Number one, just because it's really dull and kind of boring, you know. If you just look at the colors, it's really kind of just dark and gray, kind of like a Call of Duty Ghost map, honestly. But it is cool, though, how there's all this water that you can go to on the map. There's a lot of water underneath the bridge and everything, and there are a few like tunnels and things that you can go through on this map. But I mean, the layout is not too bad. It's definitely not a huge map, which is nice. It's nice that it's a smaller map that has some water in it. But it's definitely not the best map out of this DLC, like I said. But it's kind of funny, though, is how the other three maps just are very, very, very nice with all the colors and everything. But this map is just kind of dull and gray. I mean, I know that's sort of what they're going for with this map, is it's just all sort of dry and run down in this map. But it's not my favorite type of map. But it definitely is not the worst map ever in this game, but it's just not my favorite. But yeah, that just about wraps up these DLC maps. Now, overall, I really do think the multiplayer side of this DLC pack was actually very good. I definitely like more of the maps in this DLC pack than I did in the first DLC pack. I definitely like the first three maps, and like I said, Verge just it's not my favorite type of map, but I definitely do like how there are a lot of other very good maps in this DLC, and I really look forward to playing them more, like Knockout and things like that. So yeah, I really do think this DLC pack is very good. If you do like the multiplayer side of DLC, this one is definitely better than the first one, but the zombies for both of them is just amazing. Going back to zombies, but speaking of zombies, if you did not see my zombies review for this DLC pack, it is actually the previous video. I will have a link to that down in the description, and actually I'm gonna try to do like the little annotation thing at the end, put it on my outro card, so if you click the screen, if you're on a computer, then you can be taken directly to that video if you want to see it, if you haven't already. But I hope you guys all did enjoy this multiplayer review of the Eclipse DLC pack. And until next time, guys, it's been Tazz, and I'll see you guys in the next video.